Hi, I'm Shannon Azzato Stephens. I am a graduate of a Carnegie Mellon creative writing program, and my poems have been published in a number of journals. I'm going to read a selection that have been published and that are part of a manuscript that I've been working on for about a year and a half that has been getting some good play in individual poems, but has been fabulously rejected by every book press I've sent it to. So maybe I'll just start my own press or something. This first one is called Commitment. I have a friend whose orthodoxy breaks in cycles. Every few months he'll tug at his beard and admit to having a naked shower. And when I ask him what that is, thinking of the mountains of Hebrew phrases I will never come to know, he punctuates his laugh with a palm flat on the table and another double shot of bourbon, his only regular vice, and explains that it's what happens when you remove your clothes and get into the shower with another naked person. I would like to ask him if the well-worn spaces between us are like sex in the long dry spell that is his life. Instead, I let him teach me the difference between scotch and bourbon in his basement, keeping a heavy oak bar between us. It's the largest condom in the world, he says. He wasn't always this way. His parents are reform hippies from Michigan who raised him on bagels and casual Passover dinners where everyone looked forward to looking for the matzah hidden in a napkin, but no one knew the reason they did it. He says somewhere along the line, after wiping his mustache dry from another tryst behind the synagogue, he was wrung dry by the nihilism of adolescence. He says his youth made him stupid, but I say it made him stupid and lovely, hiding from his memories under a tallit and stumbling occasionally into a puddle of his own desires. It takes commitment to know what you want and turn the other cheek regardless. I lounge in his basement in my sweatpants, take the shots he hands me, and talk about a long-distance boyfriend of mine who will never come up to visit and who I drive down to see religiously because outside of someone to help me convince myself I'm happy, I don't know what I want. I hope this makes me as beautiful as my friend, now too drunk to drive me home, slouched on the other side of the room, his yarmulke tipping like an empty cup onto the pillow behind his head. This is called We Sit at the Original Hot Dog Stand. And there's actually, this is a love poem, but to get the full picture, you have to understand something. This place, it's called the Original Hot Dog Stand, is the dirtiest place in Pittsburgh. It's like yes, it is, that is saying something, yes. Like it's a place where a friend of mine was eating dinner once and somebody got thrown through a window onto his table. Like, you know, it's one of these places. But I had this wonderful romantic moment there, you know. Okay, we sit at the Original Hot Dog Stand. At 4 a.m., a large side of fries between us. Oh, right, it's also the only place you can get beer after midnight in Pittsburgh. At 4 a.m., a large side of fries between us, tucked into a wax paper shell, greasy tentacles tangling in their slow desire to be separated from the rest, picked and eaten, drunk fruit. You take the chili dog in your fingertips, cradling its spicy strangeness. You told the slow man with the warts on the backs of his hands that you wanted a hot dog with everything, thinking of ketchup and mustard and maybe some onions. And you ask me what a chili dog is before taking a full 2 inches of it in your first bite. This is your 9th hot dog this week since you came to America. I am proud to give you something you love. I pick apart my cheesesteak, filet curled around rubber cheese, and wish I had the money to bring you home, buy you a real Philly cheesesteak and take you to the Jersey Shore, where I could point at a spot in the sand and say, look, here, a boy touched my breast for the first time, and later I warned my best friend, the first boy who removes your bra will also want to lick your nipples. It was the same beach where my grandfather walked me in a papoose, a towel over my head to protect from the gritty wind. I tell you these things because I want you to know me. Sobering up, I remember the girls who approached you, drawn like moths to your accent and your suit jacket in a bar swarming with polo frat boys and shiny, hopeful geeks in blue windbreakers. You stretched your arm down the bar, a toss of faith my way, when they asked what brought you all the way to Pittsburgh. I wonder about the girls you've slept with. You are unlike me in this. I keep my tidy number tucked away, but when I asked you how many, you paused and said, I don't know. What I don't understand is the women who took you, how they could and then leave in the morning, not wanting to watch you dress every morning. The wrinkles in your forehead as you ruffle the quiff in your hair like small golden peacock feathers, not wanting to remember your name, the peak of it, long eye and a gentle end, your father's last-minute choice humming under the tongue, not wanting to trace the raised outline of your tattoo with the tips of their first and second fingers before they are fully awake, not wanting to hear the story of the day your back was inked, how you read The Count of Monte Cristo on a massage chair for 8 hours and went surfing the next day, fading the new wings on your back in salt water. I want to buy you another hot dog, and another, until you beg me to stop. I will then find another thing to show you, something else for you to love, because I want to love things with you. You dip your fries in mustard. You say you'll go wherever I do, and I want to turn to the register and ask, can we please stay here forever? At least for a while. Love this greasy table together until we get tired of fries. Okay. Death. That's a good follow-up. This is called husbandry. I've always loved the way you stack your plates before you're finished eating. With the salad saucer atop the lasagna platter, you pick at raw spinach and saw into your cherry tomatoes with a steak knife. This morning, your hands began shaking as we cleared the breakfast dishes. A whole tower of teacup upon saucer, upon cereal bowl on dinner plate, with forks and 2 oatmeal-coated spoons wedged between the layers, rattled its way out of your fingers and spread their splinters across the kitchen floor. It took me an hour to find the last chip of our gold-rimmed wedding china underneath the potted jade plant in the corner that seemed to grow itself into gnarls more quickly since you were diagnosed. At lunch, we made sandwiches on paper plates, and you asked me to cut your tomatoes while you gazed at the jade plant quivering in the breeze from the open window. Say anything, okay? This is called The Night My Dog Died, You Took Bikes Out of the Closet. At the tip of the island, the world was made of glass, the river glossy on the verge of breaking. The stars hung precariously, portraits on unsteady nails. We rode through the financial district, sidewalk heavy with its office lights quenched and pubs open, women in stilettos, heels catching on the cobblestone. The calls of drinkers, the tings of bike bells, the molten things, the moon, the glitter on a passing boat's crown would melt and bury me. The momentum of your legs, spinning their pedals, spry as reeds, was soft. I nearly lost you. You were reeling in a line at the edge of the water. You were leaning over the rail. You were on a boat, fading into the night like drops at the end of a rain. And just a long one. I'm gonna do two more. This is called Put Me in a White Bed. You say, remind me to always put you in a white bed. You call my skin dark, marvel at its bronze, though I know if I were home, my shoulders would be twice the mahogany. I reach to hide a stray strand of hair I lost overnight. Black on white, usually straight, but now curling, long and slow from the tip of a pillow to the mattress, a lone comma on white paper. You stay my hand, trace the line of hair where it ends on your wrist, rise to make tea, leave me full in the empty, warm place you left. Should I stay or dress to help you? I know that in the kitchen you press your thumbs into our tea bags, squeeze out the last ochre drops, cloud the mugs with milk, feed the cat, and if I were down there, I would measure my cheek against the space between your shoulder blades and tuck my finger against your gentle hip bone. Desire is a plant that trembles from a crevice so deep I never knew it existed. You are the only one who can slip into me like this, having always been the same, stretched out, waiting for someone to take your love, to drink your tea. And this is the last one. It's a 3-part poem. It's called 3 Months. 1, July. I love the grumbling hum of your bike way off down the road, the kickstart in my belly, the slow sweep of you upright, helmeted, your hey when it comes off, a Marvel Comics scarf teasing the ginger stubble on your chin. You have a pizza tucked into your bag. You made it at work. The cheese has shuffled to one side. In your kitchen, a bucket of eye-popping potatoes for the horses that wander the golden hills beyond your back garden. Your Converse knockoffs, cadmium red, clean. Somewhere, your cat is doing something that will annoy you. You switch on the TV, plots over Japanese reality TV, and we don capes, Batman and Spider-Man, before uncorking the wine. 2, August. The family in front of me in the check-in line at Dublin Airport has an infant, a 4-year-old, 2 carts full of bags and anxiety about their Irish passports. The 4-year-old tugs at her sister's onesies, scuffs her stubby white sneakers on the floor, grins back at me. I wish her parents would hurry up because you aren't allowed to stand in this line with me, and I only have 22 minutes for tea before I have to go through security. On the other side of the divider, you're wearing your motorbike shoes, curled at the toes as if you're about to leap at the LED screen of departures. When I step out of line, you nod to the little girls scampering around their parents' duffel bags and ask me if I want one. I say, "Not now, I'm busy." Realize you're serious, and before I go through security, you kiss my lips as gently as the soft spot on a baby's head. This is the first day of my life. 3, January. I am learning your love for the lines of my body when you draw them by the bland glare of your laptop screen. You keep the lights off because it's 3 a.m. and you think I'm sleeping. I have class in the morning and you're looking for jobs. Tonight, the bag of Chinese delivery came with only 1 fortune cookie. You cracked it open on the bare slope between my ribs and belly button. Deeper than yours, it always catches lint and now a few cookie crumbs. You lifted its crumbles from me with your tongue, and we are both too timid to try the Learn Chinese lesson printed on the back of the fortune. Guodong, jellies. Thank you so much.